Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can iron a piece of clothing without having an actual iron. Let's get right into it. Now for this trick you're going to need two items. One is a stove or an induction heat plate, and the second is actually a pot. Yes, you heard me right, a pot. If you see where we're going with this, we're going to heat the pot on the stove or the heat unit and use the bottom side to actually iron the clothes. Before we get started, go find yourself a pot, but you have to make sure that the underside has no marks on it. This one is relatively clean, so it'll be easier to use, and there won't be that chance of getting any marks from the pot onto the actual clothes. All right, just before we get started, here are a couple optional items that you might want to have. I'm going to be doing this on an ironing board. If you don't have one, you can always use any hard surface, but I do recommend either getting like a towel or like a cloth or something and putting that on that hard surface first, and then put your piece of clothing on top before you do it, just to protect the floor. You know, it might leave heat marks or whatever. You'll have the piece of clothing that you want ironed, and again, another cloth, because if you are afraid that going directly from the stove with the pot on top of your clothes that you might leave a mark or anything, you can always put your piece of clothing down first and put the cloth over top and then iron directly on the cloth. All right, I got the pot that I'm going to be using on the burner and I turned it up to high. I turned it up to high because you're going to probably have to go back and forth from the stove to the piece of clothing you're ironing a couple times. And the hotter the heat, the easier the wrinkles will, get out of the clothes. So the pot directly off the burner, be careful. You're just gonna start to go over the shirt, just like you would a normal iron. And like I said, you might have to make multiple trips to the stove just to heat up the bottom. You can see some wrinkles there. Like I said, you just literally go right over them. That seems to be working pretty well. And like I said, you might have to make multiple trips, but this should, in the end, get most of the wrinkles out. That was a little ironing trick. Just in case you didn't have an iron, you can always use a pot to get wrinkles out of your clothes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time.